Now as you can see, I have done a whole head full of hanging twists here. Unlike the ones I showed you earlier, these ones are smaller, so I didn't use any kind of a hair thing or rubber band at the base. I just parted out my boxes and started twisting and didn't use anything to hold them there. And then at the ends, I twisted all the way to the bottom, and then I just kind of twirl and twirl until all the hair is wrapped around itself. And then the twists hold really nicely without needing any beads or rubber bands if you don't feel like adding all of that. I have found that doing hanging twists like this, for me anyway, last just as long as a braid. They stay looking nice just as long as braids do, and I think the twists are kind of cuter than braids, and the really great part is they come out a lot faster than braids. So if I'm going to do a whole head of them like this in a smaller size, I usually do twists instead of braids. And you could definitely do them even smaller than I've done them. But now up here in the front, I have done cornrows, because with any kind of rows, I find that doing cornrows does stay nicer and last longer than a rolling twist or a flat twist. So I almost always will do cornrows. But to show you how to do rolling twist and flat twist today, I'm going to give you an example so you can try them if you would like. I have already parted out the section of hair and I've combed it, and it's a little damp. And so to do a rolling twist, you start at the front and take the very front section of hair, and I'll start twisting it. And you can twist to the right or to the left, whatever is more comfortable for you. And I'll twist that and twist it until it's nice and tight. And then I'll just start grabbing a little section of hair from behind and just joining it. So now it's all one section of hair. So I'll just join it with the hair I already had and twist a little more, and then I'll pinch up a little more hair and just add it right in with what I had. I'm not keeping separate strands. I don't have 2 separate strands or 3 separate strands. I'm just adding the hair to the one section I started with, and I'm just going to continue to roll in the same direction, to the right or to the left, whichever direction you started rolling in. And add more here and continue to roll. And you're going to want to keep your hands as tight down to the scalp as you can so it doesn't start pulling away and get loose. And now I've gotten, these are pretty short rows I'm doing here, so it might not be the best visual example, but you still get the point. I got to the end of that section of hair, and then for a rolling twist like this, you're almost definitely going to want to either put a rubber band right here where it ended, where the hair ended, or some kind of a barrette or a little claw clip or something to hold it. And in my experience, a rolling twist isn't going to stay in the hair for more than maybe 1 or 2 days. But if you have maybe a baby with really short hair, this is a nice way to kind of pull back maybe the front of and leave the rest just kind of free little afro if you have real short hair. So that's a rolling twist. And that just unrolls very easily. Now to show you a flat twist is very similar to the way that I cornrow. I start off taking the front section of hair, but now I'm going to split it into 2 instead of 3, not 3 like a braid, but 2 like a twist. And again, you can do left over right or right over left depending on which way is more comfortable for you. I'm taking my left and crossing it over my right. And then while holding this piece in my back fingers, I'm going to use my thumb to separate off a bit of hair and add it to my second strand. And then I'm going to flip these over so that I'm crossing the top piece over the bottom piece. And when this one gets underneath, then I'm going to again use my thumb to section off a bit of hair. And I use the second hand here to kind of separate it out, and then cross the top over the bottom. And again, use my thumb and my back hand to separate it and cross the top over the bottom. I'm going to take my thumb, section off, separate that hair out, and cross the top one over the bottom one. Keep moving down the row, top over the bottom. Add some hair, top over the bottom. Here I'm getting to the last bit of hair, crossing it over. Now you can see that because I was going this way, it rolls under. If you cross the right over the left, it would roll over to the other side. Now when you get here, you can put a rubber band there or a clip, or you could continue to just twist on down. To twist all the way down to the end of the hair, as I've done with these twists, and that should hold pretty well, probably for a week or two, maybe more, I don't know. And so now what I've done with this hairstyle is, because these are cornrows but I have hanging twists, I just cornrow all the way to the end, and then where I had 3 sections of hair, because I was doing a braid, I had say 3 sections of hair from the cornrow, I just split one in half and then started twisting from there. And that's what I've done with these. And I used the barrettes really more for decoration. They weren't really necessary to hold the braids. But that is, that's my directions on twists.